Welcome, Mr. Timchik's class, and we are going to learn how to lay out stairs. So stairways, what they do is get you from one floor to the next of any structure. Any multi-level structure needs stairs, and when you install these is during the framing process. So once you kind of get the second floor framed, then you can frame your stairs. All right. Your stringer is what makes up one part of the stairs here. Usually cut out of 2x12. Nowadays you might use LVLs, but 2x12s are probably the most important. You can use 2x10s, but often they're a little bit too small for what you're doing. Depending on the width of the stairs, it depends how many stringers you need, but rule of thumb is that you're going to need a stringer every 16 inches. So it's going to look something like that. So every 16 inches, you need a stringer. All right, horizontal framing members that go across your stringer are called treads. Treads are usually 2x12s as well. And then they're covered up with something like a thinner oak tread, or there could be carpet over the treads themselves. But usually, like your framing member, your 2x12 underneath is not your actual tread itself. But anyways, the tread depth does have to be 10 to 11 inches. That's why like a 2x12 usually does the trick for that. So the 2x12 isn't actually 12 inches. It's 11 and a quarter. And then if you take into account with the nosing that you have, it will definitely be in that 10 to 11 range. You can see that it's from nosing to nosing, 10 inches, and obviously you can rip down a 2x12 to whatever you need it. All right, next is the riser height. All right, so your riser is how high, your space from one step to the next. It needs to be between 7 and 8 inches. Now that's a key feature here, so to know that it needs to be between 7 and 8 inches. Anything different between 7 and 8 inches, it's going to feel unnatural to the foot. And any stairs that are already previously made, maybe from their old steps that aren't 7 to 8 inches, they definitely cause a tripping hazard because without you even knowing it, you're used to 7 to 8 inches rise and picking up your foot about that high. And when you go a step that's higher, or one that's lower, your muscle memory in your feet going up those stairs are going to be thrown off by it being changed. So 7 to 8 inches is where we want to stay at. So what do you need to know for laying out your stairs? Is the distance between finished floor to finished floor. So from the floor, the first floor, to the floor that will be finished up here, that is what you need to know for your total rise, which is your total rise height. So you take this number and you divide it by 7. Why 7? Well, 7 is the minimum height of your steps. So you want to take that and divide that by 7. So when you do any, then you use this for any number. So you measure the height from finished floor to finished floor, and you divide that by 7. All right, we got 15.57. You round it to the, you use the whole number from that measurement. Then you divide 109 by just 15. All right, you don't want to divide it by 0.57. You just want to divide it by 15. So 109 divided by 15, and you get 7.25. 7.25 is your riser height. All right, so now we have our riser height, and that is within our allowance range between 7 and 8, so we're good to go there. And then you want to subtract 1 step from the whole number, and that'll get you how many steps that you'll have in total. So instead of having 15 steps, how many you step off is actually just 14, because the last step is the top of your landing. So you can see here, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, and then the last step, the 7th step, is actually up here. So anytime you divide, like in this one, it says it's 15 steps that you gotta lay out, but it's really just 14 because the 15th step is the last one. So this is also important. The tread depth and the tread height combined together cannot be has to be between 17 and 18 inches. So, like I said, 7 3/4 here, all right, plus a 10-inch step, all right, that'd be 17 3/4. That's an allowable range. If this was 7 3/4 and this was 11, then it's a little bit out of our range. So it's just a combination. This is just kind of a rule of thumb, and definitely something on the Nocti test that they ask about that. But if you just stay in between the 7 and 8 for your rise and 10 to 11 with your tread width, you'll be good. So now we got to step off using our framing square. Definitely Stair gauges help with this. I mean, they're named after this, Stair gauges are named after the stairs here. Lay out your stairs. Because rafters, even though we can use stair gauges for rafters probably should be calculated if you're really going to do it properly and measured. But with stairs, there's no substitute to how to do stairs. You need your framing square and you need to step it off. All right, so the one other thing that you have to realize is that the first step is going to be a little thinner than your second step. So your first step right here actually lays on the floor. But when you put your tread on, all right, it kind of changes the height from the floor on top. So you have to trim it if you're going to put a 1.5 inch thick 2x12. You're going to want to take 1.5 inches off the bottom, because when you put the tread on, it then makes it the height that you want, and then it kind of all equals out from there. It's because you're going from the floor, which has no height, to on top of your tread, and that's why you need to change it. All right, and then the total run, when you got like from how far this is going to be away from the edge of your whatever you're butting up to, all you have to do is add up your run, your tread. So it's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and that's how long it would be. All right, so this is the basics of laying out your stairs.